Hello, hi again. This is Miko of Ready to Marry and to Mommy. And ang daming nagpi-PM, ang daming nagtatanong regarding the pros and cons of homeschooling. Well, actually, I have a lot of things in mind. But let me start first with the pros, okay, the advantages of homeschooling. And before I talk about this, before I try to enumerate the advantages of homeschooling, let me just clarify that this list is according to us, okay? Kasi every homeschooling journey naman is different. So, siguro sa amin advantage to, but for the others, it could be a disadvantage. But anyway, let me just share to you what are the advantages of homeschooling to our family. So, number one advantage is the freedom of spending time with Risen anytime, okay? Sometimes, even if we are working, we could bring him to work. We have a little training business, and what I remember, especially pre-COVID, COVID-19, is that we would bring him to these workshops and to these talks, and sometimes you would even ask him to do things for us. So yon, isang advantage yun is yung lagi namin siyang kasama kahit weekdays, kasi nga wala siyang pasok. I mean, pwede namin siyang i-homeschool on our way, or pwede kayong mag-skip ng academic side nung homeschooling namin. So pwede namin siyang kasama. So that's really one. And number two is that I get to see firsthand all of his improvements, all of his milestone. Ako yung nakakakita. So I can say na talagang kilala ko yung anak ko because I taught him how to read, I helped him with science, I can see his struggles, lalo na nung, kasi meron kaming part na talagang nahirapan kami to jumpstart, to really begin homeschooling kasi ayaw niya, nagre-resist siya, especially with reading and all of these things. So, I was able to see firsthand kung paano siya nahirapan, kung paano rin ako nahirapan. He was also able to witness that. So, I could really say that I want to thank the Lord for homeschooling because it gave me the time to get to know my son more, not only with his not only kung ano yung nangyayari sa utak niya, but even with his heart, how his heart responds to this situation. And speaking of heart, I also want to give it to homeschooling that I am able to correct him right away. Meron kasi mga bagay that needs correction, di ba? Right away. Na parang pag nakita mo, dapat makorek mo yun agad because it's very, very important. So, yun yung nangyayari sa aming homeschooling journey. If there's anything that has to be corrected or if he has to be disciplined, naiitama namin kaagad. So, yun. So, I think that's also really important for character development. Also, we get to travel. We get to see places, and as I mentioned, hindi namin masyadong problema kung may pasok ba siya or wala. This is important kasi sometimes even ang daming amusement parks, mga ganyan. So, pumupunta kami doon when everyone is already in class. So, pag start ng school year, alam na namin yan June, July, August, first quarter sa regular school. Now, we go to amusement parks, we go to museums. Because walang tao, okay? Even the pool in the clubhouse, walang tao eh. So, na-maximize namin yun na kami lang, na hindi namin kailangan makipagsabayan pag holidays, pag Holy Week. So, ang nangyayari, pagka mga ganyan, Christmas season or Holy Week or long weekend, we just stay at home because we're done with it. Kumbaga, hindi namin kailangang madaliin yung mga ganyang chances because we have all the time in the world, ika nga. And also one of the advantages is that he gets to explore what he wants. Matagal na kaming nasa dinosaur phase up until now. He still likes dinosaurs. Ngayon naman nasa space. Ang gusto niya yung mga space, planets, and kanina lang he was asking me about, what were you asking me, babe, about kanina? Satellites, right? Satellites. He was asking me about satellites. So yun, parang hindi yun na-prevent. Na parang, wag muna yan because we need to do this. So pag meron siyang mga tanong, pag meron siyang mga concerns on these things, I try to answer. Pag hindi ko alam, of course, I Google it or ask my husband about it. Pero nagigets nyo, parang ano siya, parang meron siyang something na gustong gawin or gustong subukan, gustong i-explore, we could do it. Hindi siya sagabal para dun sa kanyang academic part ng homeschooling. So we get to do both. He gets to explore what he is interested with, and at the same time, we still get to do academics. So yun yung mga advantages. Not to mention pa, of course, as I've mentioned, time, I've mentioned yung discipline, I've mentioned that yung bonding namin na mag-ina or even as a family is lumalim talaga siya because of homeschooling. And I guess one also of the advantages of homeschooling is that I get to be homeschooled as well as a parent. To be honest, I'm a teacher, yes, but it's true when they say that it's different when you teach your own son or when you teach your own daughter. Kasi iba, okay? Iba talaga siya. Iba yung, basta magkaiba siya. So, my heart is also homeschooled because I get to be more patient. I get to be more dependent on the Lord. And then, I get to be more prayerful because it's not easy every day. And since, yun nga, as I mentioned, I'm a teacher. And since I'm also a stay-at-home mom, I don't get to teach. So at least na ano ko pa rin yun, napapractice ko pa rin siya in homeschooling my son. Marami pang advantages of homeschooling, but those things are, on top of my mind. And as I mentioned, it could be different from your experience or from the experience of other families. But what's important is that you get to know these things, and that hopefully this would fuel your transition to home education. Of if you are doing it now, this would fuel to make you just keep on going, to keep on educating your child at home. So there, on my next video, God willing, next week I will be discussing naman the disadvantages of homeschooling. Okay, so thank you, and I hope you're having a great time wherever you are. This is Miko of Ready to Marry and to Mom.